We're going to explore the depths of the dreams that we may have. And what is a wish, a desire? What would you love to manifest? In a time when life is feeling a little restrictive still, we want to think of what we desire. We want to focus on how it feels to achieve what has been in our heart perhaps for a very long time. All of our dreams have been inside our soul since we came to the earth. And every dream is a drop of inspiration just waiting to take forth the energy of actualization. So how is it that we move ourselves in the direction of what we want? And what are dreams made of? Dreams are made of the desires that make your heart sing, that make you feel harmonious, that bring you joy, that give you enthusiasm, that under the surface feeling of, I can't wait to do it, but my goodness, I feel a little nervous and afraid because it's unknown, but it's a healthy kind of hesitation because we are so enthusiastic, we just can't even fathom how great it would be. And we are all creators. Every day of our life, we're creating. And every day of our life, we are taking in visuals of things that we like, that we want, that we wish to experience. Have you ever thought about buying a new car? And you have an idea of the car you really like. And you focus on that. Maybe you look it up and you see the price. Maybe you go to a dealer and check it out. And then from that point on, even though you haven't said, I'm going to take this car, everywhere you go, you see that specific car. It's like the universe is saying, yes, you can do it. You can have this car. Or this car is in your soul as to what you would like to have in the physical realization of this life. We all have the opportunity to create and desire things in the physical while we are navigating everything else that's going on, which is always quite the, exercise when we are all moving ourselves in the direction of what we want. And as we look at the possibilities of what we can have and what we can do, we also consider the impossibilities. What's impossible, what might not happen, what an obstacle may be along the journey. We are all given so many choices that sometimes it's overwhelming. And the biggest slow up, deterrent from the realization of the actualization of your dreams is the comparing mind. Thinking that you're not good enough or smart enough, or comparing yourself to someone else's accomplishments and figuring it's already been done, or, well, I can't top that, so why bother? And sometimes we find ourselves fascinated in what other people are doing, their daily behavior. We find ourselves fascinated in their accomplishments and almost wowing over them as if they are some rarity. And yes, there are a few human beings that are beyond exceptional. But we all are equipped with our own gifts, our own abilities to be someone spectacular and unique. And each one of us can create and attract the dreams that we want in our experience. When you were little, just a mere little child running around, you had such an imagination. What happened to that? What happened to the little one who thought they could do anything or be anything? The little girl who was the princess, the little boy who thought they were Superman or wanted to be a fireman or a policeman. The little girl who saw herself singing in front of a large group of people, even if it were stuffed animals. She saw herself there. And she felt that energy of what it would be like. And as children, we are uninhabited. Uninhibited, I should say. We are blocking everything that is negative from us because we don't know any better. We don't allow that difficult thing to come in our mindset because we can't see anything other than the goal. We can't feel it. We just know that it makes us enthusiastic and excited and it's fun. And so we sit amongst our stuffed animals and our cars and our trucks and our dolls, and we see everything as we want it, and we believe we can have it. Dreams are made of those moments. And then along the path, we'll get a message, a comment, an instruction from an adult or some well-meaning relative that says, well, that's not possible. You're not tall enough for that profession. You could never be a basketball player. You're not pretty enough to be on the big stage and get recognized. There's so many messages that are given to us. I sat across from someone yesterday, and fabulous young woman, beautiful family, but just the damage that was done when her food was considered to be portioned and everything she had to eat was measured. It created this imbalance in her thought process and feelings as to who she is and how beautiful she is and what she can accomplish. Just because a well-meaning parent made a big deal out of the portioning and how the structure needed to be, making the young girl feel as if she was just eating too much and being critiqued every time she went to the refrigerator. Created a very unhealthy experience. And whether the amounts were necessary or not, that young girl took away that somehow she doesn't measure up. And so she feels not pretty enough to have some of the experiences in her life that she'd like to have, and even worthy of an attractive partner. So there's a message there. And so simple things in life, interpreted through a child's mind and emotions, can take us a little bit off center and send us down a path that does not help us accomplish our dreams. It's as if our desire and our joy gets removed because we think we're not worthy or good enough, or it's not possible. Or perhaps that we don't have the tenacity to see it through. We all have a unique power inside of us. Everyone listening has this ability to create from within a magnificent journey for themselves. But what's the conversation that overrides that choice? That freedom of harmony and joyous celebration of who you've really come to be. You see, dreams are made of experiences that brought us a sense of self, a sense of worth. Dreams are made of experiences that created great enthusiasm within. Dreams are made of accomplishments that gave us a sense of this feels right, and builds from there. Every dream has a place in our experience. Some dreams in the realization in our life comes out a little differently than perhaps we envisioned initially, because life and its journey has a higher version than we could ever imagine. And sometimes the dreams, the visions, the joyous moments that we really wish we had 20 years ago, they come now, at this age, whatever the age may be. And they come in a slightly different form, but we get them nonetheless. But from the journey of 20 years ago to now, perhaps you're in that journey listening tonight. You feel like your dreams passed you by. You feel as if, I don't know, you couldn't do it, or the universe didn't hear you, that you weren't in a place for the right time, and it passed you by. We think that our prayers and our wishes have gone unheard, unseen, only for the universe to bring it right back around in a more mature, slightly different version. But it's there for you nonetheless. There's a trust that we build on this journey, a trust to the divine, our guides, our angels, knowing that we are never alone. But in this energy of being who we are, we have to trust ourselves. We have to look back at that little girl, little boy who stood in their room and commanded the room, even if it was filled with stuffed animals. We need to look at that brave little boy or little girl who took the bus for the first time, stood in front of a classroom and gave a presentation, maybe entered the science fair and won, maybe did a recital. And even though we had a misstep, we still did a great job. We need to look at all the ways that we've become resilient in this life. And we can't let anyone take our joy, rob us of that desire, that happiness, that freedom, that connection to who we are. You see, dreams are made of aspects of you, sprinkled almost like fairy dust or sprinkles on a cookie, just there in its bright brilliance, different shades, different colors, different textures, ready to be brought into your reality and created for something better, bigger, grander. It's never too late. The dream that you have, whether it's to make a move, to acquire a possession, whether it's to revamp a career, reinvent yourself totally, open a business, it's all there for you. But it's the words of the others who have perhaps made you feel as if you couldn't. It is the remembering of the disappointments or the one misstep that robs you of the strength and the beauty of who you are to realize this dream in your moment. Take a moment and give yourself permission to dream big. Everything that is an actualization, realization, that is tangible in this world, it began with a thought, an idea, an inspiration, a feeling. It all began the same way your dreams began a long time ago. And even though they may have been reconstructed, revamped over time, you may say, I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago or when I was 10. We get it. The universe gets it. It's evolution. You've evolved through a series of experiences that have served you well and brought you great character. And at times brought you to your knees of surrender. But remember the person who stood in your room, just you, once upon a time. For your dreams are still made with the same fairy dust that made you believe in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, and the Easter Bunny. I know it sounds so sugary and fun, and how could that be? But when you remember the feeling of youth. And you remember that God said to be like a child, and you will inherit the kingdom. You will inherit everything that is great and grand and harmonious and filled with love. Find that child inside and tell it, it's okay. Come, little one. We can dream again, because our dreams are made of aspects of God, the angels, the stardust in the sky, and every little moment we've ever had when it was just us in our room pretending. That's the thought, that's the inspiration that can come into reality the minute you give it permission.